Do you think personal finance classes are important in our high schools?
I think very important because a lot of the times in high school you're just learning things that you can't really carry on into other parts in life, so personal finances would really help when people get out of school.
I agree. It's a life skill.
Okay, what do you mean by life skill?
Like, you can apply it to real life and a lot of other subjects you can't.
Hi, my name is Adam Hicks, and I'm a Regina Public School Board trustee. This month is Financial Literacy Month, and there's no better time than to talk about financial literacy in our high schools.
I can't put enough emphasis on that it means so much to a student that in a high school setting in your grade 12, you're doing trigonometry, you're doing higher level English, and those things are some things, if you go into your university career, you may be touching on those and you may not touch it at all. But we're not taught the fundamental things to help us in our everyday lives, such as budgeting. Simple little things that we don't take into account when we're in high school.
I think it is one of the most important things that a high school can have. I went to Riffle High School in Regina, Saskatchewan, and they didn't have that when I was there. I was lucky enough, I did have an accounting class with the teacher, Connie Perot. She was great. From that class I learned how to do income taxes, and from there it's just grown. But again, like I said, I didn't have any personal finance classes, but I was super lucky to have a grandfather who went through the U of S in commerce and kind of knew his way around it, because he had told me a story about how he figured out at some point in his life that he was working as hard as he could, raising 3 children, and he could never catch up with life. He always seemed like he was behind it. And so he started reading up, found index funds, saw bonds, other sort of savings, the RSP, tax-free savings accounts, and I was super into that as soon as I started growing up. I saw the banks and I thought, well, I love to make money, I love to learn how to save, and so he brought me into that world. But I was super lucky. There's not a lot of people who have that opportunity.
Savings is preparing for the future, and it can be short-term, medium-term, or long-term, whether it's preparing to retire or deciding you want to buy a car in the next 3 months.
What does savings mean to you?
Erin, do you want to answer this?
It really doesn't mean much to me.
Yeah.
How come? What do you say?
Well, because a lot of the jobs out there, the more money you make, the less you save. So it's probably the most important thing to learn is the more money you make, the more you should save.
Credit card is trash.
I should have laughed.
I'm sorry.
Okay, how does a credit card work?
A credit card basically offers you a set amount of credit that can then be paid down with interest over a period or amount of time.
Credit card works in which it is very easy credit to spend. It's given to you by either a credit union or a commercial bank, whichever one you're with. You use it, again, like I said, freely. You can pull it out of your pocket just as quickly as you pull cash out. The only problem with it is that it can be very easy to use, and sometimes banks can take advantage of that by offering you extended credit, and that way you're spending more than you actually think you do, and then they nail you with that interest charge.
Credit card works where you have a card and you can use it for payments, but you have to make sure that every month you're putting your own money towards that credit card to pay it off, to make sure that you're keeping a good credit, because if you fail to pay monthly on your credit card, your credit score rating will go down.
The bad things about credit cards is that some people, lose track of their spending, and they keep on spending more and more and more, not paying attention to how much money they actually have in the bank. Then in some cases, people don't even end up paying their credit cards monthly, and they get a bad credit score. Interest is an amount of money that gets paid or paid to over a period of time. So for example, if I had a loan, I would be making interest payments on the loan, or if I had some investments in an account, I would be earning interest on top of those investments.
A mortgage is a loan given to you either by a bank or a personal finance group that is going to allow you to purchase something large, such as a home. That's the most typical mortgage you're going to get, and it's probably the largest debt you're ever going to carry in your life.
An RRSP is a registered retirement savings plan. I believe how it works is through your financial institution or your financial planner, you start setting aside money as you earn money from your career, which would be used for retirement. So when you retire from your job, you would have enough money to live comfortably and being able to spend it on things. So it's basically money that you're setting aside for when you retire.
People understand the concepts, but they need someone to reinforce those concepts for them. And that's the biggest thing. We all know about loans, we all know about credit cards, but we aren't actively taking interest in them and making sure that we're following the rules so that we don't end up with big amounts of debt, or we don't end up with low credit scores. And that's the strongest thing that you can emphasize into instilling this into a high school setting, is that it's the most important class that you can teach. You can have English, you can have math, but one thing that is an overarching aspect of your life from the minute you graduate and get your diploma to the minute you pass away is financial literacy. It is the backbone of not only your own social structure and your social life, but the economic structure of the world, and it's a driving factor in the economy here in our country.
I did not have a personal finance class going through high school. And even in university, I learned kind of on the fly, like most university students do. And I had started a business in university and ran a business after university as well for a number of years. And unfortunately, things didn't end so well. And I strongly believe, and that's why I'm fully supporting this motion, that if I had some of that knowledge and some mentors that had shown me some things about the basics, I think I would have been better off, and today I might be in a different place, or at least more financially secure. So I fully support these, and I'm hoping that others can start talking about this, having that conversation, and I'm hoping our school boards are also approving this as well. My name is Adam Hicks, and I sure hope that within the next couple years we would see a personal finance class in every single high school across this province. Let me know what you think. I'm always glad to hear some of the comments from you. Thanks.